heavily engaged with trade talks to the Miami Dolphins. What I'm told this week is that another team actually called up.
I've been here at the Dolphins facility, and there hasn't been a buzz that anything is imminent. I've heard that unlikely.
Tua Tagovailoa, but Deshaun Watson continues to sneak into the Dolphins' DMs. Miami's let it be known they have interest. The Houston Texans have until Tuesday at
Like I've said before, I can control what I can control, and
it's the 2020 NFL Draft. The Dolphins pick 5th and are in search of their franchise quarterback. After Joe Burrow goes off the board number 1 overall to the Bengals, the pick was between Alabama's Tua Tagovailoa or Oregon's Justin Herbert. After a losing season dubbed Tanked for Tua from the sports media
office, they have coveted Tua the first minute he looked off Georgia's safety and threw a dart to beat Georgia in the national championship game coming off the bench. He had the Dolphins at hello. Speak to anybody in this business.
I believe if he's there at 5, the Miami Dolphins will take him. That's what I do believe.
The Dolphins made their pick. After his first rookie year, left much to be desired, especially comparing with his quarterback draft mate Justin Herbert, whose 4,336 yards passing, 31 touchdowns compared to 10 interceptions. Herbert currently holds the record for most touchdowns by a rookie quarterback, which further adds to the fire that maybe Tua wasn't their guy. Although it seemed that the Dolphins missed on a franchise quarterback in not drafting Justin Herbert, there was another. Enter Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson coming off a career year, throwing for 4,823 yards, 32 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and an impressive 70% completion percentage. Before the 2020 season, however, the Texans gave him a $160 million contract with $111 million in guarantees to the 2-time Pro Bowler. The team unfortunately fired their head coach / general manager Bill O'Brien after some questionable moves resulting in a 4-12 season. Watson, from reports, was told by owner McNair that his input on the new GM and head coach was welcomed, although none of those suggestions from the quarterback were neither considered nor consulted. Watson found out on social media that the Texans were to hire Nick Caserio of the New England Patriots. As soon as the ink was dry on that contract, a tweet went out that started the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. Some things never change. The Houston Meltdown. On January 28, 2021, Deshaun Watson formally requested a trade from the Houston Texans. This was projected to be the talk of the offseason. What team would land Deshaun Watson? With more than 2/3 of the league not having an elite quarterback, each team's fan base wondered what the 2-time Pro Bowler could bring to their team. With Houston purportedly asking for 3 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks, the price was steep. But considering elite quarterbacks are difficult to come by, the price is well worth it for a well-respected, squeaky clean, elite quarterback.
We do start this half hour, though, with Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson facing allegations of sexual misconduct and harassment. It involves Watson's alleged behavior with a number of massage therapists. ABC's Rena.
Deshaun Watson is being accused by 22 women of sexual misconduct.
And keep on coming. After Watson rejected his first 2 sexual assault claims against him, a third one has been filed. This one,
NFL spokesperson Brian McCarthy said last week that the matter is under review pertaining to the league's personal conduct policy, and the Texans said in a statement that they would stay in close contact with the NFL during its investigation. Stephen A., before I kick things off to you.
Reputation tarnished. On July 25th, 2021, Watson reports to the Texans training camp with the news that the Texans are listening to trade offers. The rumors were that the Philadelphia Eagles, Denver Broncos, Carolina Panthers, and Miami Dolphins were all in talks to acquire Watson amidst the controversy. Watson, having a no-trade clause on his contract, made it clear that his choice was none other than the Miami Dolphins. Then the speculation in Miami ran wild.
Heavily engaged with trade talks to the Miami Dolphins. What I'm told this week is that another team actually called
I've been
up.
here at the Dolphins facility, and there hasn't been a buzz that anything is imminent. I've heard that unlikely.
But Deshaun Watson continues to sneak into the Dolphins' DMs, and Miami's let it be known they have interest. The Houston Texans.
Shockwaves in Miami. The Dolphins front office were scrambling behind the scenes as whispers from within the organization began to leak that they were very much interested in Watson.
Push to the offseason. Should Miami step out on Tua, Omar?
I am at the point where I believe that they should. And
before the trade deadline.
Before the trade deadline. Because
after a disappointing rookie season, Tua Tagovailoa had to address the rumors several times throughout the 2021 offseason.
My first year as, not up to the expectation I wanted to play, or, what I expected myself to be at.
Not only did Tua have to contend with the constant comparison to Justin Herbert, last year to Ryan Fitzpatrick, but now with a consensus elite quarterback in Deshaun Watson, who looked to be bringing his talents to South Beach.
Avoid hearing across the NFL.
Well, like I've said before, I can control what I can control, and I'm the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. And
game after game, the specter of Deshaun Watson was looming. No time more than on October 31st, 2021, after a loss to the Buffalo Bills, making it 7 straight losses. With the trade deadline approaching on November 2nd, it was now or never. A change in history. Now, we all know that the reason a deal could not be done was because although Watson stated he would not settle any of the 22 cases against him, the Dolphins owner Stephen Ross insisted that all cases had to be settled or there was to be no trade. Watson's legal team reached out to the 22 accusers, but only 20 were willing to settle and sign an NDA. Hence, the trade never happened, and the following offseason in March 2020, Watson was traded to Cleveland. In this scenario, all 22 accusers agreed to settle outside of court, and minutes before the trade deadlines on November 2nd, 2021, the trade was in. At long last, Deshaun Watson was a Miami Dolphin. The saga of the trade that never was captivated Dolphins fans right up till the last minutes of the trade deadline. Join us in part 2 where we discuss the compensation, likely scenarios for both teams, and the ultimate question, was it all worth it? Can Deshaun Watson take the Miami Dolphins to the promised land, or are we destined to dwell in mediocrity?
Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more NFL what-if scenarios with the Two versus Brother podcast. Comment below with your thoughts on this fascinating alternate reality. See you next time.